Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show live. This week, coming to you from a gorgeous lake in New Hampshire. I am here. I am here this weekend for a friend's wedding. So, this week, I want to talk about some great chill tips. Chill day tips, I should say. Now, when you are at Disney, you don't necessarily have to do a park every single day of your trip. Sometimes it's best to have a chill day built in, say, in the middle. And there are many different ways to do a chill day. You can just hang out around your hotel and use the pool. You can hotel hop and check out what other hotels have going on. You can take a shopping day at Disney Springs, which we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So whatever you do on your chill day, make sure you get enough rest before your next park day. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets to do a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So at Disney Springs, there are some great restaurants. And some of them are some of the best places to eat on the entire Walt Disney World property. Yeah. There we go. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 restaurants at Disney Springs. Hi, La Amante AD K-Pop Demon Hunter. Make sure you subscribe. Anyway, number 5, the Planet Hollywood Observatory. Now, we have eaten at it back when it was twice. Once back when it was the original Planet Hollywood, and again a few years ago after it turned into the observatory. And I've got to say, I think I preferred the original version a lot better because there was a lot more Hollywood memorabilia. And now it's like this whole steampunk theme. Which don't get me wrong, I do like steampunk, but I prefer the original version a whole lot better. Number 4, Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. Now, we have dined there a couple years ago, and it was good. They got some great food, and we got to sit out on the water, which was beautiful, especially during the evening hours. And it's just a beautiful view, especially with the amphicars from the boathouse going by. Number 3, Splitsville. So Splitsville Luxury Lanes has 2 floors of bowling and dining. We've eaten there back in 2014. We didn't do the bowling because it costed extra. But it was great. The food was good, and it was great watching other people bowl. And it's just a great atmosphere. Number 2, Terralina. Now, this was a nice, fancy Italian place. Great pizza. And it's and it's another one of those scenic view places where you get to look at the water depending on where they seat you. Sorry. Emma, hang on. All right. And my number one restaurant at Disney Springs, Raglan Road Irish Pub. I I will say that I think we've eaten there more times now than any other restaurant at Disney Springs, because the food there is so good, the atmosphere is great, and it has great entertainment with the Irish tap dancers and the music. It it's just wonderful. And in the bathrooms, the they play jokes from an Irish comedian that my dad used to like. I forgot his name, but so anyway, let me know in the chat or in the comments what your favorite restaurant is at Disney Springs. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. Now, on both coasts, they still have at least one cavalcade, which is like a small parade. In case you don't know, back during the pandemic, they used to have a bunch of cavalcades, but now I think they've narrowed it down to just one on each coast. At Disneyland, it's the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade to commemorate Disneyland's 70th anniversary. And at the Magic Kingdom, it's the Adventure Friends Cavalcade, which features a whole lot of adventurous characters, and of course the iconic song, Vamos! So let me know in the chat or in the comments which cavalcade you prefer. Diz, the Adventure Friends Cavalcade, and Celebrate Happy Cavalcade, or Dat, the Adventure Friends Cavalcade. And now it's trivia time. So, last week, we asked who said it's kind of fun to do the impossible. The correct answer was the man himself, Walt Disney. Congratulations if you knew the answer. And now here is this week's trivia time question. Now again, I think only the true hardcore Disney fans will know this. And this is kind of a trick question for those who aren't. How many stones are in Cinderella Castle? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, let's see. So in about 6 days, the Magic Kingdom will have its first not so scary Halloween party of the year. I know what you're thinking. Mid-August is way too early to start celebrating Halloween. But you gotta remember, it's Disney. So what are you gonna do? And another thing you gotta keep in mind is that in Florida, a lot of their kids are already back to school. So it kind of makes sense for them to start doing their Halloween festivities in mid-August. So I cannot wait to see some of the live streams of opening night. As some of you may know, I am actually going to be attending my second party in October, and yesterday I found out that the person whose wedding I'm attending this weekend is also going to that very same party. It's a date. Uh, so I cannot wait to see some of the offerings from opening night, which will give me some fuel and some great stuff to talk about probably on next week's show. So I'm hoping for positive reviews for me to discuss on, and yeah. Yeah, it's still, again, kind of weird that we're already talking about Halloween in mid-August. It's crazy. But again, Disney. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. For this week's shoutouts, make sure you guys check out Nate, aka Paging Mr. Morrow. He does great vlogs from the parks all the time. Definitely check him out. Also, make sure you guys check out my buddy Beth over at Beth's Disney Adventures. I'm sure she'll be going back to doing live streams soon. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out Maria over at LBV TV. She does great vlogs and live streams from the parks. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out my pals over at allears.net. They do great news and videos and great tips for Disney and all the other theme parks in Orlando in general. Definitely check them out. And if you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, may the mouse be with you.